Hi, second grade. Welcome to our math workshop for today. Today we're moving back into addition. We've been doing subtraction for a little while now, but we're going to do some addition and we're going to be working with word problems today. So first we're going to do a review of some of the addition strategies that we've learned. Then we're going to get started on our worksheet for today. The worksheet that you need today is called Shopping for School Supplies. It actually has 2 pages, so if you're going to print it out, there are 2 pages. Or you could just have a piece of paper that you would like to write your work on. You also need something to write with, and that's all for today. So get those materials ready and then set them aside while we do a little bit of review. Let's review some of the addition strategies we've learned this year. These might look familiar to you because we used the same strategies when we worked with our 2-digit addition and subtraction. So the first strategy that I have here is making tens. So I have a very simple example here, 5 plus 7. Instead of thinking about 5 plus 7 as just that, you could think about 5 plus 7 as 2 plus 10. So what would happen is that 7 gives 5 out of the 7 to the 5, and we know that 5 plus 5 is 10. Then there are 2 left over. So we have 10 plus 2, which equals 12. Here are a couple of diagrams to show what we just did. Does anybody remember what these are called? These are called 10 frames. So in this picture here, you can see that we had 5. Then we took 5 from the 7 to fill up the 10 frame. A 10 frame is 1 10. And then there were 2 left over in the next 10 frame. So this 5 is what we started with. This 5 comes from the 7, and there's 2 ones left over. Another example of an addition strategy you can use is using doubles. For example, if you know that 5 plus 5 is 10, you can use it to help you solve 5 plus 6. So right here we have 5 plus 6, and you might think about that as 5 plus 5 plus 1 instead, because if you know 5 plus 5, and then you just have to add 1 more, it might be easier for you to figure out than trying to count on or using a different strategy. So 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 1 more is 11. I have another example of 10 frames here for you. So you can see I have the original 5 here. See the pink 5 with the 5 pink dots. And then the 6, 5 of those 6 are in this 10 frame. So this is 10. And 1 is left over in the next 10 frame. So 10 plus 1 gives us 11. The next example I have for you is adding tens with tens or using expanded form. So we've been doing a lot of this in this current unit as well. So I have a couple numbers here, still 2-digit, but a little bit bigger this time. 43 plus 20. So I wrote 43 and 20 in expanded form. That's what you see right here. Then I added the tens with the tens. 40 plus 20, 4, 5, 6, 60. And the ones with the ones. There were 3 ones in 43 and no ones in 20. 3 plus 0 is 3. Now I bring the tens and the ones back together. 60 plus 3 gives me 63. Over here on this side, I have a little tens and ones chart. So you can see I drew the sticks and the dots. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 40 plus 20. And then the 3 ones from the 43. There is also chunking, which means taking your numbers and making them easier for you to add together. You can also think about this as using skip counting. So let's say you know how to skip count by 5s. You're looking at 15 plus 6. Maybe you want to change that to 15 plus 5 plus 1. Because if you know how to count by 5s, you can go 5, 10, 15, 20, you've already got that 5 wiped out, and then you just have to add 1 more. So if you know that 15 plus 5 equals 20, then you only have to add 1 more to get to 21. You can also draw sticks and dots and combine ones to make tens. Or once we get into bigger numbers, combines tens to make hundreds. But today we're only going to be combining ones to make tens, okay? So up here I've got 12 plus 9. I've got 1 10 and 2 ones for 12. And then I have 9 ones for 9. So let's see what we can do here. We can combine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these ones to make what? A new 10. So now we have 1, 2 tens and 1 1. 10 plus 10 plus 1 equals 21. So all of these are examples of addition strategies that you can use. You can use these strategies to help you on the assignment for today. My expectation is not that you'll show me all of them, but that you will be using these strategies to show your work. All right, boys and girls, let's take a look at our expert task together. Our task for today uses a word problem and then a couple of follow-up questions that go along with it. So the word problem says, shopping for school supplies. Miss Ruiz needs to get some supplies for her class. The PTA is going to give her some money to buy supplies. Help her figure out what she can buy. The PTA is the Parent Teacher Association, and that is a foundation that most schools have that helps them get money and donations for supplies and other things for schools for students. So this teacher, Miss Ruiz, is trying to get some supplies for her class, and she's going to be using money from her school's PTA. So there's 3 different parts to this overall question. What could Miss Ruiz buy if she has $10 from the PTA? What could she buy if she has $25 from the PTA? And what could she buy if the PTA gives her $50? So we're going to go through the $10 one together. When I pull it up on the screen, feel free to follow along with me, or if you want to work it on your own after you watch the video, that's okay too. But I'm going to go over the first one and part of the second one with you so that you can be successful doing the third one independently. So if you're going to work along with me, get your materials ready, or if you're just going to watch, that's okay too. All right, so here is what your task for today looks like. I'm going to read it to you again. It says, Miss Ruiz needs to get some supplies for her class. The PTA is going to give her some money to buy supplies. Help her figure out what she can buy. Here's the cost of different school supplies. Pencils are $4, binders are $20, crayons are $5, rulers are $11, paper is $13, scissors are $15, glue is $12, and pens are $10. So let's look at the first part here. It says, what can Miss Ruiz buy if the PTA gives her $10? So I'm going to give you one example, and then I'm going to ask you to add another example independently, okay? But feel free to write down my example as one of them. So for this one, I'm going to expect 2 examples of what she could buy. So as you're working through this task, I don't just want you to pick something that's under $10 and write it down, because if she's trying to get money to buy things for her class, she's probably going to spend as much of that money as she can to get her class the best things that she can and the most that she can. So when you're answering this question, I want you to be trying to get as close to the amount, which is $10, as you can. Not just writing down pencils, $4, and that's it. So I'm going to give you one example of what this might look like. Maybe, okay, I see pencils. I'm looking at pencils. I see that they're $4, which is less than $10. So my first example might look like this. I'm just going to label my examples. Maybe I'll say pencils. And since she has $10, she could get 2 packs. 2 packs. Okay. So I'm going to write an equation for 2 packs of pencils. What would that equation look like? If I'm buying 2 packs of pencils, it would look like this. 4 plus 4. 4 plus 4, those are doubles. We know most of our doubles. 4 plus 4 is 8. And remember, this is a word problem, so don't forget to label your answer when we're working with money. The $ is how you can label your answer. Okay, so that's one example of a couple of things she could buy that gets her close to $10. She's under her total, but you did some addition, and that's the expectation. So the next one, remember, I want to see 2 examples for this one. I'm looking and I see 2 other things that she could buy. I'm going to tell you what the things are, and I'm going to write it down, and then you would next write the equation and the answer, and don't forget to label your answer. Okay, so that's the expectation for the first one. The second one, we've got a little bit more money. What can Miss Ruiz buy if the PTA gave her $25? So again, for this one, I don't just want to see you write down one thing. I don't want to see scissors, $15, and you're done. No, I want to see 3 examples or 3 combinations of things she could buy. 1, 2, 3. And for each of them, I want you to show me a strategy. I'm going to attach the PowerPoint with the different addition strategies I showed you so that it's easy for you to go back and look if you're not sure what strategy to use, okay? So for this one, you're gonna give me 3 examples that get you to $25 or close to $25. It's okay if it's within like $5 under. Doesn't have to be exactly 25, just close to 25 and not more than 25 because this is all that she has. All right, last page, she has $50. So there's even more combinations of ways that she could spend her money. For the last one, I want you to show me 4 examples. And remember, when we're showing the examples, just number them so that it's easy for your teacher to see. 4 examples, and I want you to write down the material that she's getting, so whether it's pencil, crayons, etc. Write down the materials, write down the equation, and a strategy for solving. So you write down the materials, you write the equation, and you write the strategy. For this example that I did here, 4 plus 4, it's super basic, and it's okay if you just put 4 in your head and count it on, or if you thought about it as doubles. But as you get into bigger numbers, I want to see an example. If you're ever not sure what strategy to use to show that you understand, you can always draw your sticks and dots. Or you can refer back to that PowerPoint that I included in this lesson. Okay, and remember to label your answer, because these are word problems. If it's a dollar amount, you just use the $ at the beginning of the number. Okay, so I want you to solve this second one for the $10. I want you to give me 3 examples for the $25, and I want you to give me 4 examples for the $50. Before you mark this assignment as done, I want you to add a photo of your work. I want an attachment with this page, the $50 page, added to your assignment before you mark it as done. You do not need to attach this first page. You did half of this with me already. Just the $50 page with your 4 examples. So just one part. All right, boys and girls, good luck on your task. We're looking forward to seeing your work. Please remember to add an attachment before you mark us done. Bye.